I'm really honoured to participate in this. I really am so blessed because I've met somebody that shares my sort of vision for health, and I'm really blessed that Bookie articulated it so well. And she's very kind to ask me to talk a little bit more about the health perspectives on midlife matters. So I'll just do a quick introduction of myself. I'm a GP, NHS GP. I'm very much portfolio, so I work very much on where I'm needed and how I want to do. And I also am a functional medicine practitioner. So I'm looking for the root causes of symptoms so that people can enjoy the shoots and fruits of their health. And very much like Bucky, in that not treating everything with pharmaceuticals, but looking at a person as a whole, looking at their environment, looking at their lifestyle, and if needed, intervening with pharmaceuticals or diet or nutrition. And so really looking at the whole person. So midlife, this was really, doing this presentation was actually quite a revelation to me myself. I'm going to be 50 this year, and it's a phase of my life that I didn't really think about. You go as you grow up, you think about finishing school, going to university, getting married, having children, and then you enter a very busy phase of life, and you sort of stop dreaming and stop thinking about things beyond that. And now I've arrived at 49 and 11 months, and I'm thinking, well, actually, there's more to life than that. And what do I want out of it? So very much our bodies are changing as we enter a new phase, and it's a phase we're not experiencing things like periods, or we're not going to be experiencing childbirth. And there's so much more to experience now. It can be a time that we harvest what we sow, but it's also a very important opportunity because we can alter our trajectory. Perhaps we've been really busy bringing up children, working, establishing our careers, but it's actually an opportunity now to look after ourselves. And self-care is a really, really high priority. And that's why, I'm very much echoing what Bucky said about looking after ourselves, so that we can make sure that our cup is full, so that we can pour into others. And I think that's really important. So it's not only the children or the husbands or the family that we have, but we want to be able to pour into other people, into our communities, and into all the other activities that we have. Now, I think one of the really important things is, as I said, a lot of women don't really think about the menopause or the midlife years, and a lot of the changes that they experience are quite new. And I'd encourage you to research them. If there are symptoms that you're experiencing, research them, and then join in a community like Bucky's community, where you can ask other women. It's such an honor to be amongst such beautiful, vibrant women. And all of us have different experiences, and we can actually really benefit from the community. And then if through your own research and through researching in the community, you've not quite got the answers, ask for expert advice. Bucky is a health coach. She's a pharmacist. You'll have access to myself, and there'll be so many other people that will be participating in the community, so that you can ask about things that you're not quite sure about. And I think as women, often we become very sort of resourceful and resilient, and the last thing that we do is ask somebody else. And from my experience as a GP, the people that do best are the ones that ask for help. It's important to be resourceful, it's important to be resilient, but do ask for help if you get stuck. So the transition into our midlife can be quite messy. A lot of women have no problems at all, and so far I'm very lucky. I've not had any problems, but actually that's not true. I had a phase where a period where my periods became very heavy. I became severely anemic, and doctors make the worst patients, and I became so anemic that I wasn't able to climb up the stairs. So that was through heavy periods. You can get hot flushes, your skin can become dry. A lot of women experience really quite crippling anxiety or loss of motivation, and one that everybody complains about is irritability. You know, you can really fly off your handle very quickly. There's lots of things that we can do to help those symptoms, and I just wanted to talk a little bit about those. I mean, some of the solutions are really simple. So just enjoying the sunlight and fresh air. Now, the sunlight is really important. All of us have darker skin. Some of our skins are a little bit darker, and that means that we need more sun exposure. And especially if you live in the north of England, you're probably not getting enough. So I definitely encourage you to get your vitamin D levels measured and supplement vitamin D. Talk to Bookie about that, talk to myself, but it's really, really important because it's definitely a risk factor for lots and lots of illnesses. And you know, make sure that your vitamin D levels are at the right plasma levels. So that might mean testing with your GP or testing elsewhere, but get that sorted out, because that's one thing that you can all do to improve your own health. Move your body and exercise. And I mean, I know from my own culture, by the time you get to about 50, you tend to slow down. You're not exercising, you're sort of sitting at home, you're enjoying the respect of all the youngsters, but perhaps not getting up as much and not exercising, and perhaps feeling that it's not your place to join the aerobics classes or do personal fitness. You know, we need to change that, and we need to actually move our bodies. We need to exercise. We want to maintain bone mass. We want to keep our bones really, really strong. So as much as we can take good food and we can take supplements, actually making the body use those and incorporate those into our muscles and our bones is really, really important. Eat organically as much as possible, because a lot of the pesticides that are used, unfortunately, can actually go from the vegetables and the fruits that we eat straight into our body. So try and eat as organically as possible. And organic food can be a little bit more expensive, but if you can't, make sure you wash them so that you're getting rid of as much of the pesticides and things as possible. Now, this is really important. This is a real focus. This is a thing that I found in my GP practice that makes such a difference, and that's actually looking at your mindset. And I think Bookie will be perfectly placed to help you with this. Do you know who you really are? You know, we've lived our lives as daughters, as wives, as mothers, but this is the opportunity to actually get to know who we are, and to rekindle the dreams that we had as youngsters. And as I said, when I was doing this, I realized actually I hadn't really thought about what I was going to do for the next 25, 30 years. Like Bookie, you know, I'm nearly 50. I'm 50. Life's been difficult. I got divorced recently, and with that divorce, all my sort of dreams of my life sort of went poof. And he really trying to reconnect and think, well, what do I want and where do I want to be is really important. So what matters to you and what do you want in life? And if you're not clear about it, get clear. And I'm hoping, and I know that this community will do that, and Bookie can help you with that. Meditation is really good. I mean, all of us have got, you know, we're a spiritual community, and all of us have got prayer practices, and I think that's actually a real benefit, because we really stop and we think about what our lives mean to us and what impact they have in the bigger scheme of things. And meditation is really, really important. One thing that's really coming to the fore now is diaphragmatic breathing. Breathing really helps. Over the next few years, you're going to hear a lot about sort of vagal, stimulating the vagus nerve. Now, the vagus nerve, we've got the normal nervous system, which we can sort of say, oh, I want to pick up a glass, I want to, you know, brush my hair. But we've also got an autonomic nervous system, and the autonomic nervous system is split into two. We've got the parasympathetic and sympathetic. We experience a lot of things with the sympathetic, and during menopause, during the midlife, that can go a little bit into overdrive, in that we get the hot flushes, we can get palpitations, we can get the irritability and anxiety. And what we want to do is really build our vagus system, which is the parasympathetic side, which will slow our heartbeat down, which will make us feel less anxious and less fraught. So diaphragmatic breathing is something that we can talk about, and maybe that's something that we can talk about in the community as well. Maybe put on some links and some videos and stuff. So these are really important things that you can do. And then I think, tying in with what Brookie says, you know, menopause and midlife can be a liberating experience. And there are so many women that are menopausal. This is actually interesting because this was a quote from a paper on menopause, and it was specifically to do with sort of African, it was Nigerian women. And there were lots of different quotes, but this one I thought was particularly good because it's a liberating experience. And she was saying that she knows menopausal women that were happy and enjoying life, and what you need is an understanding of yourself and a strong faith in God. And I think that's really important, because that faith in God means that you know that there's things that you can overcome, that there are cures, and there is help at hand.